Hello everybody, my name is Pani Gupta. So in today's session, we are going to solve a reading comprehension passage as we do in every class. Then we are going to discuss about prepositions because we all know that the pattern of the CLAT exam has entirely changed. We get grammar in the passage itself. So we are going to briefly discuss about prepositions and different types of prepositions. And after that, we are going to discuss about the literary tones, means the various tones used by the authors. Then last, not the least, we are going to read some more idioms and phrases. Okay, so let's begin as we have to do a lot. Let's start from the passage. I'm going to read out the passage, explain it to you, and then together we can always, work out the questions. Okay. Mountaineering is now looked as a king of sports, but men have lived amongst the mountains since prehistoric times, and in some parts of the world, as in the Andes and Himalayas, difficult mountain journeys have inevitably been part of their everyday life. So, in this passage, the passage is about mountaineering. It is being said that now mountaineering is becoming very famous as a sport. More people are now want to do mountain climbing. They are getting fond of this sport. So it is being said that it is not now that people are living in mountains. Since prehistoric times, in some parts of the world like Andes, Himalayas, a lot of people used to live. So difficult mountain journeys was part of their routine life. They used to they used to go on difficult paths on daily basis as they lived there. This is a part of that was a part of their life. However, some of the peaks were easily accessible from most of the cities of Europe. It is quite interesting that while modern mountaineers prefer difficult routes for a greater enjoyment of sport. So it is being said that a lot of peaks in Europe are easily accessible. Easily accessible means that people can easily go there. It is not very difficult to reach at those peaks. Okay, so now it is interesting. Now it has been evidently found that people, mountaineers, young mountaineers, they enjoy difficult routes. They want to go on difficult routes because for them, the more difficult the route, the path to reach the summit will be, the greater will be the enjoyment. So this is the thinking of nowadays, the young mountaineers. The early climbers looked for the easiest ones. For the summit was a prize they all set their eyes on. But now a comparison is being given. People from the earlier era, people from the prehistoric times, they look for easier routes, easier way to reach the peak because their only motto, their only aim was to reach the mountain peak and nothing else. So they wanted the as easiest route as possible. Popular interest in mountaineering increased considerably after the ascent of the alpine peak of Matterhorn in 1865 and Edward Whymper's dramatic account of a climb and fatal accident which occurred during the descent. So it is being said that the interest of the people increased considerably after the climbing of alpine peak of Matterhorn, and also the dramatic account of climb and fatal accident which occurred during the descent by Edward Whymper. So this all encouraged people to take mountaineering. In the risky sport of mountaineering, the element of competition between either individuals or team is totally absent. So it is being said that this is a one of a kind of sport. It's a very risky sport in which there is no competition. It's totally absent. Rather, one can say that competition is between team and peak themselves. It is being rather said that people don't compete with themselves. People don't compete. It is the competition between the peak and team and the people because it is a very big thing. Generally, the mountaineering, climbing mountains is very difficult, it's very risky. So if you reach that peak in one piece, it is the big thing. It's a very big thing. The individuals making up a party must climb together as a team, for they depend upon one another for their safety. So it is being said that individuals who meet each other during their climbing, they should team up because they are each other's support system. Because at that place where there are such harsh, severe climatic conditions, so people should rely on each other. People should work as a team, should go as a team and support each other. Mountaineering can be dangerous unless reasonable precautions are taken. However, the majority of fatal accidents happen to parties which are inexperienced or not properly equipped. So it is being said that mountaineering is dangerous if you are not taking the reasonable precautions which you should take. You should be completely equipped if you are thinking of climbing a mountain. So majorly we heard a lot of times that a lot of accidents are taking place, that someone has fallen from a mountain peak or something like that. All this happens because people are not properly equipped. Fatal accidents happen because people are not experienced and still they are climbing higher peaks without the proper equipments. So this is the main problem which generally arises in this sport. Since many accidents are caused by bad weather, the safe climber is a man who knows it when it is time to turn back, however tempting it may be to press on and try to reach the summit. So many accidents happen because of the bad weather. Because at mountains you have a lot of time heard that it's unpredictable. If it's sunny at one time, at another time maybe it is snowing, so we don't know about it. The weather can be very bad at such heights. So a clever climber, a safe climber is a man who knows that when he should return back or when he should take rest, no matter how tempting or how interesting it is to reach the peak, to reach the summit. Okay, so this is the passage, very easy. Now let's start doing the questions. Mountaineering is different from other sports because. So what is the reason that mountaineering is different from sports? It can be fatal. It is risky and dangerous. There is no competition between individuals. It is most thrilling and exciting. All right. So now let's work out the options. It can be fatal. Fatal means something which can lead to death. Yes, mountaineering is dangerous because if you are not being careful, one recklessness can lead to death. So it is very different and it is very dangerous. So option A is the correct answer, but we will read others also. It is risky and dangerous. A lot of sports are risky and dangerous. There is not competition between individuals. Okay, so even this is not the correct option. It is most thrilling and exciting. A lot of games are very thrilling and exciting. So option A, it can be fatal, is the correct answer. Second.
Ma'am, but option C in the first question, it says that there is no competition between individuals. Here a line was mentioned which said that instead of competition between teams, there is actually competition between the man and the mountain.
Correct. I know. But this is something, the question is asking that it is different from other sports. Okay. So there are very less sports or no sports in which a person can die. So yes, it is very similar. It could be one possible answer, but the correct answer, point to point answer, is it can be fatal, which is written in this line. If you can read, I have shared the slide. However, the majority of fatal accidents happen to parties which are inexperienced or not properly equipped, because this is a sport in which a person can even die. Okay, so that is why this is the most it is the most appropriate answer. Okay, it is risky and dangerous. Like this, all the options are very similar, but the point which is up to the mark, which is bang on, it can be fatal. Okay, should we proceed to the next question?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. People living in the Andes and the Himalayas made mountain journeys because. So why people living in Andes and Himalayas made mountain journeys? They lived in prehistoric times. Of the challenge offered by a difficult journey, it was a kind of sport. They had to undertake them in their day-to-day life. So let's read what is the first option. They lived in prehistoric times. So this is no reason of they are doing mountain journeys. Okay. If people, it's not necessary that people living in prehistoric times, everybody is doing mountain journeys. It's only those people who are living in mountains are doing that. Of the challenge offered by a difficult journey, no, it is completely wrong. It was a kind of sport. That days, that time, that era, it was not a sport. It was just people were living there. They had to undertake them in their day-to-day life. So option D is the correct answer, because if you are living in a mountain, then for day-to-day life, for your routine life, you have to move, you have to go, you have to travel. And that time travel was that people have to do mountain journeys only if they have to reach from one place to another. So it was their necessity, it was part of their day-to-day life. So option D is the correct answer. They had to undertake them in their day-to-day life. Next question. Mountaineers climb as a team because. Why do mountaineers climb as a team? There is no competition among them. The competition is between the team and the peak. The height is too much for one individual. They have to rely on each other for safety. So again, there are a lot of options which are quite similar. Let's see. Why do mountaineers climb as a team? There is no competition among them. So yes, agreed, there is no competition among them, but still, why? The essence in this question is that why are they required to travel, to go as a team? There is no competition. This is not that appropriate. This is one probability, but it is not that appropriate. The competition is between the team and the peak? No. The height is too much for one individual. This is out of question. It is completely wrong answer. We have to eliminate it. They have to rely on each other for safety. It is written in the passage also that people climb as a team because they depend on each other for safety. Because in case if the oxygen level rises of one person and he doesn't have that oxygen cylinder, the other could help him. So all these types of things, they have to rely on each other. They have to depend on each other for safety. Okay. So answer D is the correct answer. Next is, the summit was the prize they all set their eyes on. In the context of the passage, this means. So what is the meaning of this line? It's being asked like this. The summit was the prize they all set their eyes on. They kept their eyes steadily on reaching the peak. Reaching the top was their exclusive concern. They chose a route from which they could see the summit clearly. They cared for nothing but the prize of reaching the summit. So the first option is they kept their eyes steadily on reaching the peak. So the thing is, the meaning of this, they set their eyes on, means they were focused that they have to reach the peak. It is not literally they were keeping their eyes there. Okay, it was their motive, it was their goal that they have to reach the peak. Second, reaching the top was their exclusive concern. So, the summit was the prize. Yes?
Ma'am, I get that, that this was their concern, this was their focal point. But when it in option A it says that they kept their eyes steadily on the peak, that would have been wrong. But it's written that on reaching the peak means that their eyes were set on the roadmap. So that means the same.
Look,
this is also right.
Let me tell you the meaning of this passage word to word. Then maybe you will get it, that why second will be the most appropriate answer. The summit means the peak, was the prize means was the only thing they all set their eyes on. So reaching the top, reaching the peak or getting to the top was the prize, means was their concern, was their exclusive motive. They all set their eyes on. They have gazed their eyes on. So that is the meaning of the entire line. Okay. Reaching the top, in this, the summit was a prize. They all set their eyes on. So just they have to reach the top, And that was their only concern, because in the passage it is being written that there is a difference given between the early mountaineers and the modern mountaineers. It was being said that the new mountaineers, the people nowadays, enjoy difficult routes because they think it is more pleasure, it is more interesting and more enthusiastic if the route is difficult. Whereas on the contrary, the uh, earlier climbers, the mountaineers of prehistoric times, they used to think that we have to just reach the top, and they choose the easiest path. So in reference to the passage, in reference to the comprehension, it is written there in the passage, that is why reaching the top was the exclusive concern. This will be the most appropriate option. I hope you get it, or should I explain it more? Let's see the third option. They chose a route from which they could see the summit clearly. This is not relevant. It was not written in the passage. They cared for nothing but the prize of reaching the summit. So literally in this option, they're talking about a prize. There is no prize. In this reference, in the sentence, the prize means that they just want to reach the summit. Okay, so option B is the correct answer, the most relevant answer.
Ma'am, I get option B is the more
Right. Yes.
better worded answer. But
Hmm.
ma'am, when in option D they say they cared for nothing but the prize of reaching the
Huh.
summit. So
But
does this mean a monetary prize or does
yes,
this mean
yes.
just reaching the
Correct.
summit was a prize?
It means a monetary prize. They are talking about, in this point, they're talking about a prize, a gift, which you can say. So it is wrong. It is just given there to confuse you. Okay. So even it is written there also. Wait, let me do it. Wait a second. Yes. See, it's written from the last line. It is quite interesting that while modern mountaineers prefer difficult routes for the greater enjoyment of sport, the early climbers looked for the easiest ones. For the summit was the prize they all set their eyes on. इसका मतलब है कि उन लोगों को सिर्फ पहुंचना था अपनी पीक पे, wherever they wanted to go, उन्हें बस वहां जाना था. तो इसीलिए समिट पे पहुंचना, पीक पे पहुंचना ही सिर्फ उनका only goal hai, only motto hai. That is why this option B, is the most appropriate and most nearest out of all the options. Okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Should I proceed? Okay. To press on in the last sentence means, so what is the meaning of press on? To force upon others, to struggle in a forceful manner, to continue in a determined manner, to work fearlessly. So let's read where is press on written, then maybe we could find out that what is the correct answer. Since many accidents are caused by bad weather, the safe climber is a man who knows it when it is time to turn back. However tempting it may be to press on. Press on means continue. No matter how tempting it is to continue and try to reach the peak. So let's see what will be the correct answer. To force upon others. So this is irrelevant. To struggle in a forceful manner. There is no struggle. To continue in a determined manner. To press on means to continue. And then to work fearlessly. So there is no question of working. So option C is the correct answer. To continue. Press on means no matter how hard it is or no matter how tempting it is, to continue in a determined manner. Okay. Next is, so this is a grammar based question. In how many instances should the definite article the be used in the italicized sentence to make it grammatically correct without altering it in any other way? Okay, so now let's read the sentence which is written in italics. So I think we all have must read about articles. We know what are articles, what are definite articles, what are indefinite articles. So in this sentence, we are asked that in how many places will a definite article will come. Rather, one can say that competition is between team and peak themselves. So the is used if we want to specify a particular thing, we are mentioning about a particular thing. So, for example, the hospital, a hospital. A hospital is any random hospital. Okay, any hospital. It could be a hospital of Delhi, it could be a hospital of Bangalore, it could be a hospital of London, anything. The hospital means we are specifying it. Okay, so in this sentence, the will come in places, let me tell you. Rather, one can say that the competition, we are talking about a specific competition, is between the team, the specific team, and the specific peak where they are trying to climb. So, three places, 1, 2, and 3. There are three places in which the should be used. So, 4, 2, 3, 1. Option C, 3 is the correct answer. Okay. Next, choose the correct preposition in place of one from the above passage. Let me get back to the passage. It's written there. Mountaineering is now looked dash up. In spite of one, we have to write something else. We have to write a preposition as a king of sports. So which will be the correct answer? Mountaineering is now looked dash as a king of sports. Looked for, looked upon, looked ahead, and looked after. So let's see what is the meaning of looked for. What we generally say, I'm looking for my glasses. Looking for is searching, when you are searching something. Okay. Looked upon. Meaning of looked upon is when you consider something or regard something, when something is considered. Okay. See, look ahead. Look ahead means you are thinking about future. You are planning about future. You are thinking about the plans of future. That is looked ahead. Look after. I am looking after my mother. Look after is when you take care of somebody. So which will be the correct answer? Looked upon. So mountaineering is now considered. Looked upon means considered, is now considered as the king of sports. Okay, so option B, upon, is the correct answer. All right, so now we are going to do about a quick discussion about prepositions. It is not a topic you are doing for the first time. You must have done it a lot of times. So as we see that we are getting questions of grammar from the comprehension itself. So it's very important to have a basic knowledge of prepositions, that it is a type of revision so that you don't need to open it again. So let's do this. Definition: a preposition is a word which is used to link a noun or a pronoun with other words. They provide relationship between noun and other words. Examples: in, on, at, under. Basically preposition वो word है जो कि noun या pronoun को दूसरे word से link करता है. It is used to link. So it provides a relationship between noun and other words. ठीक है, noun और other words के बीच में जो word relationship बताता है, that is a preposition. Okay. For example, the book is on the table. So one noun is being connected to other noun by a preposition. Where is the book? Book table ke upar hai, on. So on is a preposition. Okay. So now we are going to do various types of prepositions where they are generally used. Prepositions of place and direction. Preposition of place show the relationship of place between the noun to other parts of sentence. Example: on, in, at, under, below, up, down, across, behind, between. So all these prepositions you have definitely heard about. Now let's do in detail quickly about them. Now first preposition of place and direction is in. So now let's read that where should we use in. We use in with names of cities, villages, streets, or towns. We use in when we are talking about an area. So in generally, when we use name of a city, कोई city का नाम है, there is a name of a village, a street, town, we use in. Or when we are talking about an area, then also we use in. We stayed in Mumbai for 5 days. Mumbai is the name of a place. How long have you lived in this village? He lives in Church Street. So all these are names of cities, village, street. We use in there. Okay. Next is at. When do we use at generally? So when We use at to talk about group activities in shops, workplaces. At is used in house numbers too. So basically, when we are talking about group activities, shops, working places, or house numbers, we generally use at. Did you see Kiran at the party? I saw him at the baker's. Party is a group activity. Baker is a workplace. There were not many people at the meeting. Similarly, workplace. He lives at 45 Church Street. It's the address, house number. So we use at there. Then on. We use on to refer to a position on any surface to specific days and dates. तो कुछ specific days and dates में we use on, and we also use on कि to refer to a position. किसी चीज पे कोई चीज रखी होती है, ऊपर रखी होती है, then also we use on. The dog is lying on the floor. Put this picture on the wall. Similarly, my brother is coming on Monday. So I told you we write on with the days and dates also. We are having a party on 4th July. Okay. Next is above. When do we use above? Above indicates much higher position than the preposition on does. तो on से ज़्यादा ऊपर वाली जो जगह होती है, that is above. Above means highest. The sky is above my head. Okay, stars are above the sky. So a place which is very high, that then we use above. Over. What is the meaning of over? Over means a position between on and above, which is not touching. So over is between, comes between on and above. It is lower than above and higher than on. So it comes in between. There are clouds over the hills. And one more thing, which is not touching. So it is not touching, but it's somewhere in between both the words. A bird flew over my head. मेरे सिर के ऊपर से निकल के गई, but it was not touching my head. My flat is over that shop. Okay. Under. Under means किसी चीज के नीचे, below. The cat is under the table. So the cat is below the table. The carpet under my feet is very soft. That book is under my glasses. So we use to refer things below the surface, we use the word under as preposition. Below. Below indicates slightly lower position than what under indicates. So a little more lower than under is below. I have a scar below my left eye. Please don't write below this line. So this is more lower position as compared to under. Okay. To. To means when you are directed to a place. It indicates a motion in a direction of a place. When you are going somewhere, when you are directed to somewhere, he went to the college. वो college की तरफ गया means he's directed to go to college. We are going to Mexico. We walked from the farm to the beach. Farm से beach की तरफ गए. So basically to is used in direction to a place. Okay. From indicates the point from which the journey or action starts. So basically, the starting point of any action or starting point of a journey, we use from. He came from England. So England was a starting point. He drove here from Atlanta. So from Atlanta was a initial place, initial city. Okay, into. Into indicates a motion towards or going inside something. So when you go inside something, we use into. He came into the house means he's going inside the house. So we have used into. The police broke into the bar. So the police just went into the bar, just went inside the bar. So that is into. When somebody is going, when a motion is happening inside something. Okay. Out of. So into is completely opposite of out of. It means a motion towards outside of something. When you're getting outside of something, that is out of. That is when we use out of. Get out of my house means go outside. He is going out of town. He is going outside the town. So it is completely opposite. Andar jaane ke liye we use into and bahar jaane ke liye we use out of. Okay. Through. Through indicates a motion in the middle of something. So when you are going through middle of something, in between something, we use through. We drove through the tunnel. So tunnel ke beecho beech se we went. They came through the forest. So through the forest, they just went. So when we want to define a motion in the middle of something, we use through. Next, across. Across means going to the other side of a river or road or something straight. Means across is when you have to go to the other side. It could be a river or a road or straight. Then we use across. He went across the river means he went on the other side of the river. I walked across the road means I walked on the other side of the road. Next, in front of means in front of what we say bilkul samne, face to face, facing something. In front of means a position of facing someone or something. So generally when you face someone or you face something, that time we use in front of. He parked his car in front of my house means mere ghar ke samne, in front of my house he has parked the car. I have a pool in front of my farmhouse. तो मेरे बिल्कुल फार्म हाउस के सामने facing there is a pool. Okay. Next is behind. Behind is opposite of in front of. If in front of is ekdam aage, behind is piche. It is opposite of in front of. It means far aside of something. Means something which you cannot see face to face. He parked his car behind my car. तो मेरे car के पीछे behind he parked the car. I have a pool behind my house. तो मेरे घर के पीछे there is a pool. Okay. Up, down. Up means a motion towards a higher place or position. So when you're going upwards or to a higher place or position, we use up. We are climbing up the mountains means we are going, we are ascending, we are climbing up. John is going up to London. So he started from a lower place and then he's going upwards. So generally when we are going, when we use a motion towards going to a higher place, we use up. Down is completely opposite, which means when we are going, descending. I am climbing down the hill means he's coming down. Go down the stairs. Okay. Similarly, between. So between means something to be in middle of two people or things. So when we are asked to say something, mean something between two people or two things, we use between. Alex is sitting between Robin and Robert. So Robin and Robert के बीच में Alex is sitting. So when we are talking about two persons, we always use between. This matter is between you and him. So you and him are two persons. So we always use between when we are talking of two people or two things. Next, among. Among means something to be in the middle of three or more persons or things. So more than two people. That means three or more people. When we are talking about more than two people, that is 3, 4 or more than that, we use among. He is the best among them. वो उन सब में से सबसे best है. Sam distributed his property among his 3 sons. So more than 2, we use among. Till. It is used of time. Generally, हम time के reference में we use till. He slept till 8 o'clock. So 8 o'clock तक he slept. She stayed there from dusk till dawn. So in reference to time, we generally use till. With and by. With often denotes the instrument and by the agent. Means instrument means it could be anything. It could be a gun. It could be a knife, anything. An agent is a person who is using that instrument. He killed 2 birds with 1 shot. Okay. He was stabbed by a lunatic with a dagger. So dagger is the instrument, lunatic is the person, which is using the dagger. For. We use for when we measure time, seconds, minutes, hours, days, months, years. So for is used for all types of time, seconds, minutes, hours, days. He held his breath for 7 minutes. So how much time? 7 minutes. She lived there for 3 years. For how much time she lived there? She lived there for 3 years. The British and Irish have been quarreling for 7 centuries. How many centuries? For 7 centuries. So overall 7 centuries. So we used for when we have to measure something in terms of time. Since. We use since with specific date or time. So when we have to specify a date or time, we use since. He worked here since 1970. तो 1917 से वो यहाँ पे काम कर रहा है. Okay, I have not been smoking since last week. Last week से I haven't been smoking. He has been ill since last Monday. तो last Monday से he has been ill. Okay. Beside and besides. This looks very similar, but it's different. Beside has a different meaning and besides is different. Beside means by the side of. Beside means bagal mein. Beside the ungathered rice he lay. So ungathered rice ke bilkul bagal mein he just laid. And besides with an S added to it, it means in addition to. Besides its children, there were present his nieces and nephews. So not only his children were there, but his nieces and nephews were also present there. So besides mean in addition to. Then preposition with forms of transport. So when we are talking about, yes.
Ma'am, so can we say besides is similar to not only but also?
Yes, yes. It is a different way of writing a similar sentence. You can write the sentence using besides, and similarly, you can write the same sentence using not only but also. Not only his children were there, but also his nieces and nephews were present there. You can use it like this. Any ways you want to write a sentence.
Right. And ma'am, the example wherein you said that he goes up to London. Could you
Yes.
please open that slide?
Sure. Just give me a moment. I'm just searching for it. Yes.
Ma'am, so John is going up to London. Ma'am, like London is a city. You go to London. How can you be going up to
See,
London?
it's in this sentence the reference is कि वो अभी जिस जगह पर है, ठीक है, उससे वो ऊपर जा रहा है. तो अभी तो because I have written this sentence, you can write it also like this: John is going down to London. ठीक है, अगर यहाँ पे कोई भी नहीं word लिखा होता, if it is a simple dash, you can write anything. Going up to London, going down to London. It depends कि वो कहाँ पर है, कि वो higher altitude की जगह पर है, higher altitude की जगह है. अगर वो हायर एल्टीट्यूड की जगह पर है तो वो नीचे जा रहा है. एंड इफ ही इज एट अ लोअर एल्टीट्यूड प्लेस एंड देन ही इज गोइंग टू लंदन तो वो ऊपर जा रहा है. तो इट डिपेंड्स ऑन व्हाट टाइप ऑफ सेंटेंस इट इज. ओके, इट कंप्लीटली डिपेंड्स लाइक दिस.
So, ma'am, this is with respect to the altitude. So, if
Yes.
he is moving,
Yes.
he is going from
Correct.
a sea city.
Yes, correct. Okay. Should I continue with the forms of transport?
Yeah.
Okay, by. We use by when we talk about means of transport. जैसे कि we traveled by train, Raju went to office by car. तो generally आप कोई भी when we use different names of transport, train, car, we use by. We traveled by train, Raju went to office by car. So it's like that. We do not use by when the reference is to a specific car, train, etc. So when we are specifying a specific car, or when we are taking name of a specific train, of a particular train, then we do not use by. We use on to mean a specific bicycle, bus, train, ship और plane. जब हम किसी specific bicycle, bus, train, ship या plane की बात कर रहे हैं, तब हम on use करते हैं. So this is a very minute difference, but it is a difference. Suresh went on my bicycle. So we are talking about a particular bicycle. We are talking about the bicycle of Suresh. That is why we have used on. I'll go on the 7:30 bus. So we are talking about a particular bus. That is why we have used on. We use in.
Ma'am.
Yes.
Ma'am, I agree with the first example, which is Suresh went on my bicycle. But ma'am, for the second example, I'll go on the 7:30 bus. And to an extent, the first example too. Ma'am, if I say I'll go by the Rajdhani Express, I'll go by the 7:30 train. Ma'am, इसमें क्या गलत है? It is right.
See, according to grammar, according to rules, it should be on. The most appropriate answer is on. According to the rules, if we are talking about the rules of preposition, if we are talking about the rules of grammar, it should be on. So this is something ki isme, this is rules. This is rules of grammar. This is rules of preposition. So it will be like this. It should be like this. I'm not saying it will be. It should be like this. The most ideal answer. It should be like that. So, should I proceed? Yes. We use in.
I agree that because of grammar rules, but ma'am, I've seen many examples where it's not written on, it's written by. She traveled by the Vistara, or she came by the 6:30 train or 6:30 flight.
Yeah, it's
Via.
whatever you're saying, it's correct, it's right, but it should be, it depends on sentence. Yes, obviously it depends on sentence, but mostly it should be like this. If we are talking about a specific bus, plane, it should be on, which is rules. But you can write by also. By is also written, but specifically we should use on. Okay, so it is like this. We use in to mean a specific car, taxi, van, lorry, or ambulance. Example, we traveled. So when we use in, if we are talking about a specific car, taxi, van, lorry, ambulance, we traveled in Mr. Joshi's car. They came in a taxi. So we are talking about a car, specific car, taxi. So we have used in. On foot. So जब भी पैदल चलने के लिए we always use on. He goes to office on foot. Whoever was asking me questions, I'll give you more examples. Give me a time for the next class. I'll more elaborately explain you with more examples. I think then it will be clear. Okay, the confusion will go then. Will that be all right?
Yeah, ma'am. Also in this one, if you go to the ma'am, this slide. So they came in as taxi. So she came in by the 6:30 flight.
She came in by the 6:30 flight is not appropriate. Means it shouldn't be written like this.
She checked in via the Rajdhani, or no, she like.
So give me time. You or let's do one thing. Take my number. Write frame sentences which you think that by should come. Then I'll correct you, or maybe I'll be able to explain you better that why on or by will be used. What will be more appropriate to use? Okay. Will that be fine?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So now let's proceed to. We are going to do some. We are going to talk about literary tones now. I hope everybody can see the screen. Okay. So, what is a tone? Tone refers to an author's use of words and writing style to convey his or her attitude towards a topic. When the author feels about the subject is often defined as a tone. So basically, author का जो attitude होता है एक topic के तरफ और whatever he is trying to convey through a topic, तो उस स्टाइल ऑफ राइटिंग, उस यूज ऑफ स्टाइल ऑफ वर्ड्स को वी कॉल इट टोन. ठीक है. When the author feels about the subject is often defined as a tone. So what is his thinking, what is his attitude towards a particular subject or towards a particular topic, that is a tone. That is the tone of the essay. Yeah, that is the tone of the topic. Okay. So right now, today, we are going to do very basic form of tones. There are 10 different types of tones. There are many types of tones, making possibilities endless as you craft your personal voice in your writing. Below are the 10 most common tones, as well as specific vocabulary techniques you can use to achieve them. So we are going to read about 10 most basic tones, which will help you to recognize key what type of writing is it? What is the tone of the poet? So the first is formal. So let's read about formal one. A formal writing tone is common in academic or professional context. This tone focuses on being thorough and direct yet respectful. So formal writings, we all have done a lot of formal writings. It is generally done at the professional front or in the academic. So this tone is very formal in nature. It's very respectful, direct. We don't use abbreviations here. We use full words. We don't use contractions. It uses full words rather than contractions and emphasizes facts and grammatical correctness. So we don't use hi, or nah. We don't use like these words in a formal writing. It includes full words, no contractions. Hello, this is to whomever it concern, like that. The committee will not vote on the matter. So we have written will not completely. We have not used its contraction here. Okay, according to the data, to whom it may concern, respectfully yours. So all these lines have a formal nature, means these are formal in nature. So that is a formal writing, formal tone. ठीक है, according to the data, to whom it may concern. So generally हम ये सब lines we generally use in a formal writing. So this is a formal tone. Basically, if you want to identify a tone in the passage, you have to look for words which will help you in getting it to it, in getting की है ना किस type से, what type of tone the poet is trying to deliver. Next is informal. Yes.
Ma'am, in the formal tone, is to whomsoever it may concern correct?
Yes.
So,
Yes.
ma'am, which one is like more correct? Like to whom it may concern or to whomsoever it may concern?
Both are correct. Both are equally correct. Okay. Informal. An informal tone is the opposite of a formal tone. Informal tone in writing is conversational and expressive, similar to how you would speak to a friend. It uses contractions, colloquial phrases, and more emotion. Its sentences structure can be shorter with the copy rhythm, or it can be long and chatty. So informal tone is different from formal tone. It's opposite. In the informal tone, you generally, when you are writing an informal passage, you're generally talking to a friend, relative, or to a near one. So you can use contractions. It has very friendly. You can use emotions. You can use various phrases: hi, what's up, what are you doing, long time, all that, all these types of things. It could be long, it could be chatty. So it's informal. Like, nah, I have got tons of time to do my course. If it would have been a formal writing, then this word would not have been used. Hey, what's up? This is not a formal way of writing a passage. So this is very informal. You generally write, hey, what's up, to your friend, relative, or somebody you know. Sandra laughed as she jokingly shoved her friend's shoulder. So basically, when you are pushing your friend's shoulder, she's laughing. So all this type of writing. So basically, for identifying the tones, you have to read the passage. You have to try what it is trying to say. You have to find its meaning, and then accordingly, you have to figure it out that what type of tone is it delivering. So this is informal. Okay. Then yes.
For the first example of informal, if I
Yes.
want to convert it into formal, can I write, I've got plenty of time to do my chores?
I've got tons. Yes, correct. Absolutely, it's correct.
So if I use the word plenty instead of tons, it will get converted to formal.
Yeah, you have. So this is contraction. You will write completely. I have got plenty. So this is contraction. We don't use contraction in formal writing. Okay, we use it in informal. So that I have, when you will write I and have completely, it will automatically switch to formal. Tons.
Right.
Yeah. Yes.
Yes, ma'am. Please carry on. Tons.
Yes. Optimistic. Wait. Optimistic. When writing in an optimistic tone, you are conveying a sense of hope and a positive outlook for a future. So, optimistic. What is the meaning of optimistic? A person who has a very positive thinking, positive approach to life. So, that is the meaning of optimistic. So, optimistic writing is one which is full of positive feelings, positive hope, positive structure. So when writing in an optimistic tone, you are conveying a sense of hope and a positive outlook for the future. Even when acknowledging today's challenges, the uplifting language gives readers aspiration. So basically, when the writing is full of hope and the writer is very positive in his approach towards life, and he's acknowledging that what are his challenges, but still he's very positive about it, that he may pass through it with no difficulty. So that is an optimistic writing. So for example, now how to find Optimism in writing. David said with a reassuring smile. So, what is the meaning of reassuring? Reassuring means somebody who's less worried. So, David said with a reassuring smile. This word tells us that he's optimistic, he's less worried, he has a more positive approach to life. So, this is one feature, one characteristic of being optimistic. Okay, hopeful.
Ma'am,
Yes.
Ma'am, this sentence is also an example of formal tone. David said with a reassuring smile. Or is it
No, actually, the word reassuring.
No,
We
it
have
is
a word there.
optimistic.
Yeah, it is
In
optimistic.
addition, is it formal or
See, if you will have an option in an exam in which you'll be given option formal, optimistic, then it will be optimistic. You know why? Because this word is an optimistic word. It's a positive word. So we have to find words like this. If we don't have this word, if we eliminate this word and there is something else, then it could have been formal. But with the presence of this word, this is optimistic. So finding tones in the passage is all about picking out words which tell us more about it. We have to pick words, what it is like. Okay. For
Ma'am,
example, words like hopeful. Yes.
ma'am, also I have gotten, is it correct?
I have gotten.
I had gotten, I have gotten, is it correct grammar?
Okay, can you frame a sentence? Can you frame a full sentence? Maybe then I'll be able to tell you properly.
I have gotten a pretty dress for a gift. Like I
No,
have gotten the mark sheet.
I have got the mark sheet. It should be like this.
I have got.
Yes, it should be like this. We'll come to tenses also. We'll come to tenses. We'll do in detail that also. Okay, hopeful, hang in there. So these are some words which tell us optimism, which tell us about a positive feeling, a positive approach. Okay, now let's do worried. How to find a worried tone? A worried tone can make your reader apprehensive and afraid.
Excuse me, ma'am.
Yes.
Ma'am, what is the meaning of hang in there?
Hang in there means just wait for your time. Just tasalli rakho. Everything will be fine. That is the meaning of hang in there. Okay. So basically you're encouraging them कि कोई बात नहीं, वो बिल्कुल सही हो जाएगा. You'll overcome this problem. Nothing will get wrong. That is hang in there.
Okay, ma'am. Okay, ma'am.
Worried. A worried tone can make your reader apprehensive and afraid. So, worried tone is when you're reading a passage and you are thinking that no, you can figure out that the writer is afraid or he doesn't know that what to do. He's feeling, it communicates feelings of anxiousness about some things that are unknown. So, feelings which he thinks, something which he thinks that he's very nervous. He's very nervous. He doesn't know what to do. He's very afraid. So, that is a worried tone for something about a thing which is unknown to him, which he doesn't know. That is worried. My hand tentatively reached for the knob. The meaning of this line is my hand were not confident, means when I was opening the door, means when I was reaching the knob or touching the knob, I was not confident. मुझे बहुत डर लग रहा था. Shaking as I held my breath. I was shaking जैसे जैसे भी मैं सांस ले रहा था. I was shaking with fear. Okay, so these lines tell us that the author was worried. It was something which was bothering him, something which he don't know, which he doesn't know what it is about. Rocked back and forth. Rocked back and forth is आगे पीछे चलना. Looking out of the window every second. Her time, every second he's looking out of the window and saying something and checking. So that is a characteristic of anxiety, anxiousness. Okay, so these words that tell us that the poetic tone is worried, anxious, stressed. If there is stressed written there, stress, so that is also worried tone. So these all things come under the worried tone. When you think that, when you find with a line that something difficult is something is happening which you are not aware of, and you are scared of it, you are anxious of it. So that is worried. Okay. The next is friendly. A friendly tone is non threatening and elicits trust. This tone can also have a mix of formal and or informal tones, depending on what you are writing. Generally, it's light-hearted and kind. Exclamation points can convey warmth and enthusiasm. Friendly tone is normally when you are talking to a friend, when there is nothing to be afraid of, everything is perfect. This basically this form, this tone is a mixture of both the formal and informal tones. Okay. And this depends on what you are writing. It's light-hearted, kind, hi, happy birthday, how are you, pleased to meet you, all that stuff. Exclamation points can convey warmth and enthusiasm. So if you are writing, if a sentence is written, if a sentence is exclamatory, generally it conveys warmth, enthusiasm, love, friendship. So this is a friendly tone. Esther gave me a cheerful thumbs up from behind the curtain. So it's a friendly tone. Next is confident. Confident is confident and confident is confident. Confident is confident and confident is confident.
Pratikesh, sir, did ma'am drop out of the meeting or something?
Wait a second, I'll talk to her. Wait for 2 minutes. I'm calling her. Can anyone of you accept ma'am's request?
Sir, I am the host. I admitted, ma'am.
Arushi, you are the host right now, I think. Hello. Arushi, you are the host.
Sir, I admitted the ma'am. Sir,
Okay.
I already admitted her.
Okay.
I am so sorry, students. There is some electricity issue there. So just the electricity went off and the class got disconnected. So we will continue with the more literary tones and more words which will help us to find tones of the passage. So we'll continue with this class on Monday. And whoever was asking me questions, please take my number and let's get connected and ask me whatever you want. I'll be more than happy to clear your doubts. All right, will that be fine? Yes, can everybody hear me out? Hello?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so we'll continue on Monday, and whatever problems or whatever doubts you have, please feel free to reach me out and we can continue on Monday. Thank you very much.